Last episode in Malaysia, we brought the car home in P12 after a very rough day in the Grand Prix. It just did not go well at all as Kimi Räikkönen brought home the victory in Malaysia, gaining points on your championship leader Sebastian Vettel. And so we decided to ask both of their takes on this Grand Prix. Obviously, Vettel couldn't be too impressed, but Kimi Räikkönen said, "Blah, it was good." Pretty straight up answer as usual from Kimi Räikkönen, but Vettel replied with, "This doesn't help in the championship, but I still think we can hang in there to win it." So obviously he is very confident that he can bring home the championship this season still, and I think he does have a good shot as we now come into the Japanese weekend. You see, Chris informs me that we do have a new part fitted to the car there. It is a some wing flap on the front wing, but we have now gotten ahead of Renault in the R&D, and we're still right behind Force India. We got some work to do, obviously, to get to those guys. But next season is really what we're focusing on at this point to really get good in the R&D as we come to our qualifying lap now. We've already attempted one lap, and we were put in P5, but I wasn't very happy with that lap, so I decided to try another one. As you can see, we have our teammate Lance Stroll in front of us. I do not know which lap this was for him, but obviously he's not running the best right now. But now we come to the end of the lap. We're not running much better, but we do gain quite a bit of time into the last corner, but on the exit then we lose some time and we gain it back on the exit again. So we're going to come and bring the car in P5, and we lost one spot going into the race, so we'll be starting the Japanese Grand Prix in P6. So now let's go to the pre-show here and let the guys take over.
The final chicane. And all this will be happening under the watchful eye of Anthony Davidson, who joins me for today's race. And assuming the weather holds, where do you expect to see the action unfolding today, Ant?
Well, most of the time, passing here is limited very much into the final chicane, or maybe down into turn 1 if you get a good run and some assistance from DRS. But if we're lucky, we might see a bit of bravery into the hairpin, a place that Kamui Kobayashi certainly made his own in the 2010 Grand Prix on his way to a very impressive 7th place. And as you say, Crofty, this is all assuming that the conditions hold out. We know how quickly the clouds can come in here at Suzuka, and if they do, all bets will be off.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Raikkonen, Max Verstappen, and a Williams, Ricciardo, Ocon, Perez, and Nico Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Sainz, Romain Grosjean, and Kvyat, Palmer, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, and Marcus Ericsson. Van Dorn and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, you see the starting grid there, but we are now ready to start the Japanese Grand Prix. It's going to be pretty overcast here, so 5 races left in the season. You also hear it there from Jeff. So now let's try and get the best out of it today. Here we go for the start. Starting right behind Max Verstappen there on our left. Kimi Räikkönen in front, 5 red lights. And we are green for the Japanese Grand Prix. Kimi Räikkönen going 3 wide on the bottom beside Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen on the far left there. They are going to get crowded right in front of us. We go to the inside of Verstappen and we do make a little bit of contact. Räikkönen side by side with Hamilton, and he's sideways, he's wrecking. And we barely get by. Wow. Kimi Räikkönen is now out of the Japanese Grand Prix, as we'll get a replay here on the screen. You see he just kind of gets into the right rear of Lewis Hamilton and crashes out, and that will end his race, and this is going to help Sebastian Vettel massively in this championship if he can get through here without any problems. He's likely going to run in the top 3, I would assume, so this really benefits him, as so many other drivers have had so many problems, including like Lewis Hamilton has had problems all season long. Bottas has had a few problems recently, so this incident really puts Vettel in good shape now in the championship. As you heard it after last race, he said he's very confident he can pull it off, and now this really looks like he will be able to do it now. But now we have Max Verstappen right on us here for P4 he wants to get, but he's probably not going to make a move. Got to be really careful through that kink there. Don't want the back end to kick out, especially if it's wet there. It's really not fun. But I worked on this setup for this car quite a while just to get something good, and I finally got something at least half decent. But it's certainly not going to be enough to hold off guys like Max Verstappen, who is already thinking about making a move, but he can't do it. The car doesn't get through the S's the best, as you're going to see here. It's sometimes gets a little bit sideways, but it kind of tried to kick out right there even. But it's certainly good enough to where I think we could fight for a top 5. I think we're going to have to rely on some guys making mistakes. As you see, we are the one making the mistake now, as Verstappen hops on the opportunity and he gets by us with no problem, as now we have his teammate Daniel Ricciardo right behind me here, and he has, I believe, Esteban Ocon right behind him trying to get by him as well. Do that sharp left-hander. That is, I really enjoy that corner there. Hopefully we can just hang on to a top 5. That's really the main goal today. Obviously, our team wants us top 9, which, with no problems, I think we can do that. Unfortunately, last race in Malaysia, we weren't able to hit our goal because it was just a complete disaster. I mean, lap 1 we had just about a crash. I mean, almost crashed out, to be honest. But we were able to come back for, what, P12, which was very unfortunate. I think that was only our second finish outside of the top 10. So our last one was China, and Malaysia and China are very similar, so I wasn't really surprised by that. But we got some fuel saving to do, as you see there. But now we come to lap 6. You see behind us, Ocon's going to get wrecked by Daniel Ricciardo. He kind of tried to make a move into the left bend, which is not a good idea, and he wrecked himself, and that's really going to hurt his race. He's not out of the Grand Prix, but that basically ends his day. But now on lap 7, we will be pitting this lap, as we do have a slight gap between ourselves and Daniel Ricciardo due to the contact he and Esteban Ocon just had. So it's already closing, though. He's coming back very fast. But we're going to be coming in this time, I believe, for another set of super sauce. So we will have one more stop after that, and I don't know what we'll be putting on for the second stop of the race. Now we come towards the end of lap 7, getting ready for our pit stop. You see Daniel Ricciardo does get by me before the little kink there. We get a little bit loose through there, but I was able to hang on to it. Now as Sergio Perez is right behind me, but that doesn't really matter, as we're going to come into pit road. He's actually going to follow me. There he is right behind us, so we're going to have to hope we beat him out here. As we come into our box, we both come in at the same time. This is going to be a pretty close race off of pit road. We actually put the softs on as we come out just in front of Perez. I mean, that was close. That might have been some type of penalty in real life on our part, I think, due to how close we came out, and we actually had to ghost just so he wouldn't make contact. So, but now on the all the way to lap 12, we gotten by Valtteri Bottas somehow. I believe at this point he was having a mechanical problem, but you see Daniel Ricciardo's long gone. Well, not too far, but he's got enough of a gap to where he's probably, once he gets past Julian Palmer, he's probably just going to drive away from me. But now, even after we pitted, we still sit top 10, even right at our finishing goal from our team. So I think we have a really good shot to finish pretty strong in this race now. But we got some work to do if we want a top 5, I think, especially now that Daniel Ricciardo is ahead of us. But we have obviously run him down. Oh, we just about wrecked the car. Holy crap, that was big. Thank goodness I was on a wheel there. That I probably wouldn't have saved that on a controller, to be honest. But wow, that was so close to being almost a big event for us. I don't think it would have ended our race if I would have hit the wall, but now we have a caution up ahead. You see, we have had Carlos Sainz. We've just passed him on the leaderboard, so Carlos Sainz has DNF'd from this race with some type of mechanical problem. So that's the first mechanical or engine issue that someone has been taken out of this race for. The only other one is Kimi Räikkönen, who obviously was wrecked on lap 1. But now we need to try and run down Daniel Ricciardo, who has kind of gotten away now as he looks like he's really struggling to get by Jolyon Palmer, but I don't mind it right now because it's letting me catch him, as we really have to save some fuel here before we get to the end of this race, if I even want to make it to the end. So we're catching Ricciardo once again, who is just cannot get by Jolyon Palmer now, but he was able to get by him as we come all the way to lap 20, P4 right behind Sebastian Vettel, as we come to pit road to make our second pit stop in this race. This has been a pretty uneventful race since Kimi Räikkönen got wrecked out, so not much has really happened at all. But we put on these super soft tires, and these will bring us to the end of this race here, as we will get passed by Roman Grosjean. Bottas is going to come through. He just set the fastest lap of the race, and even our teammate Lance Stroll is coming up, who I'm pretty surprised is even running top 15 right now. But he's running P8 on the medium tires. I think he's trying to one-stop this race or something. That's probably why he's running in the top 10 right now. So if that strategy works, that'll be a pretty good call on our teammates' crew there. So good job on Lance Stroll, maybe. We'll find out. Only 7 laps to go in this race right now. Lewis Hamilton does have the lead at this point, and he's just trying to cruise to victory right now, which looks like he might do that, and that will obviously help him in the championship, but it's kind of a little bit late for him to make a run at the championship, unfortunately for him. But at least he can get a few more wins before the season is over. The championship contender for Vettel is Raikkonen. That's the only guy almost now, and obviously he is wrecked out of this race, so this really does help Vettel. But now we have Daniel Ricciardo way ahead of us, so obviously you can see that once he got past Palmer, we lost quite a bit of time to him. So obviously we're probably not going to be able to run him back down unless he kind of has a similar situation where he gets stuck behind someone. He's 3.4 seconds ahead of me, so we could gain that gap. We do have enough laps, but it depends on obviously how fast we do gain that time, if we are gaining any at all. We did gain less than a tenth at the line there, but now we come to lap 24. You see Perez in the Force India has pulled over to the side of the track and DNF'd, and that's going to end his day now with just 17 cars remaining, as we are coming to just 3 to go at the line this time by. Still trying to close the gap on Daniel Ricciardo, but it's not happening right now, and we've put a massive gap between ourselves and our teammate Lance Stroll. Just 3 laps to go once we get to the line here. So we are certainly running out of time to catch Daniel Ricciardo, but we have, I was actually mistaken, we have closed the gap a little bit on him. It's down to 2.9 seconds, but I need to hope he gets stuck behind someone. I know he is catching Roman Grosjean, who is slower at this time, and maybe Roman could hold him up just a little bit to help me out now. That would be very nice as we come up and pass Sergio Perez there in the grass, just enjoying his day, obviously finishing like P18 now. But now we come to just 2 laps to go. Ricciardo has gotten past Grosjean, and we are just about within a 1 second range of Roman Grosjean coming to the white flag right here. The gap is certainly just a little bit out of reach at this point. Like the really first sector is really going to tell me if I have a chance or not to catch him. We need to be, I would think, within, I would say, half a second at the end of the first sector right here if we want to catch Roman Grosjean, but I highly doubt it's going to happen as we come through the S's one final time in the Japanese Grand Prix. We certainly have gotten through here half decent, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. We are 6/10 out, so it's, we're just out of range in my opinion now, as we come towards the later stages of the final lap in this race. We get on the curb a bit there, get a half decent exit. Lewis Hamilton has won the Grand Prix. So this will put him closer to Sebastian Vettel for sure, but it's certainly not going to put him close enough. And I think Vettel's running top 3, so he's in pretty good position here. And that right there might have just lost my chance at catching Grosjean as it got loose from the curbing there on the left-hander. And that's certainly going to put me out of range to gain the time on Grosjean, and he's going to be able to hold on here. I'm going to try and dive it in deep in the last corner and get to him. Oh, we might hit him. Wow, that was close. Almost had a shot. I was trying to move him, but I didn't make it happen. So we're going to bring it home in P7. That is certainly not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a top 5, but we still beat our goal from our team. So I guess we don't have too much to hang our heads on. We should at least be a little bit happy with how that ended, and obviously bring that into the next event, which I believe is the American Grand Prix.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
So here we have the finishing order. You see Hamilton obviously won. Vettel was able to get second. Verstappen third. Bottas the first guy out of the podium. Our teammate Lance Stroll brought it home in P9, so he got us some points for the first time in, I think, maybe the first time this season, to be honest. But you see Vettel now has a 39-point lead over Kimi Räikkönen. We sit P8 just behind Perez. And we're actually in a Force India sandwich. We got 2 Force Indias. In front of us is Perez, behind us is Ocon. But now we come to the exit of the race. We have just over 1,000 resource points to spend. Verstappen is beating us in the rivalry, and he's probably going to run away with it. But next episode will be the American Grand Prix, so I'm pretty sure it is, so hopefully we can make something happen there. Usually, in the past, I have struggled there quite a bit, so I'm not expecting too much out of that race. But hopefully we can challenge for maybe even just a top 7, I think, kind of like where we got in Japan, P7. So hopefully we get some resource points shortly, or more, to make a upgrade. Yeah, we got USA next, okay. So 4 races left in the season. Can Vettel win the championship, or will it go drastically wrong for him, which is highly unlikely. He really hasn't had many problems this season, other than, well, Italy. If you watched that episode, that was an interesting one for him. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of F1 2017 Career Mode. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button or comment or subscribe. That would be all very, very appreciated. I will see you guys next time in the U.S. Grand Prix. Have a good day.